Time skip at their wedding day. Taeyang and everyone is waiting for the bride. After some time later, door open revealing Wyan holding her father's arm. Slowly they start walking towards the stage. Taeyang's eyes got stuck on her. Wyan looked at Lana and she winked at her, which made Wyan smile. Wyan dad placed her hand on Taeyang's hand. He held her hand like never wants to leave this hand ever. Wyan dad, take care of her, my son. She is very precious for us. If you ever feel like you are bored of her, never give her pain. Please return her back to her father safely. Everyone's eyes got teary. Wyan's brother and her mother also crying. Taeyang, I can never think of hurt her, and for me she is also very precious to me. I promise I will take care of her and cherish her with love till my last breath. Joy, I will burn the world if my Dumbo Nona ever gets hurt. Everyone looked at him and chuckled. Wyan wiped her tears while chuckling. Taeyang, don't worry, I will treat your Dumbo Nona like a princess. Taeyang enjoyed both girls when they found Wyan glaring at both of them. Time skip after wedding. Everyone congratulated for their new life. After having the wedding party, Wyan and Taeyang left from there. Time skip at Taeyang's house. They came inside the room and Wyan tiredly lay down on the bed. Taeyang smiled while taking off his coat. Taeyang, sweetheart, you need to change. Wyan, you go first and let me sleep for 10 minutes. Taeyang bent down and kissed her forehead. Taeyang, at least change the gown. Wyan, later, now let me sleep. Taeyang, fine. Taeyang went inside the bathroom for a shower. 15 minutes later, Taeyang came outside after taking shower and found her still sleeping. He wore his dress and sat down on the rocking chair. He poured himself a glass of red wine and started sipping wine. He looked at her sleeping face for some time, then looked outside of the balcony. Time skip. 1 hour later, Wyan slowly opened her eyes while rubbing. Her eyes fell on Taeyang, who is sitting in the rocking chair while reading a book calmly. She smiled and sat up. Wyan, what time is it? Taeyang looked at her and smiled. Taeyang, you are up. It's 11:30 p.m. Wyan, I slept for 1 hour. You should have waked me up. Taeyang, I didn't want to disturb your sleep. Now go fresh up. If you need any help, call me. Wyan smiled and nodded her head. She went near the mirror. Wyan, help me with the hair clips. Taeyang smiled and walked near her. He started taking off the clips. Wyan, slowly. Taeyang, I'm sorry. He gently took off the clips from her hairs. He took off her jewelry too. Wyan, thank you so much. She quickly kissed his cheek and ran inside the bathroom, which made Taeyang smile. Taeyang, silly girl. He again sat down on the rocking chair and started reading the book. After 20 minutes later, bathroom door opened revealing Wyan. She walked near the mirror while wiping her wet hairs with a wet towel. She started doing her night routine. She didn't notice his strong gaze on her. He closed the book and placed it on the table. He slowly walked near her and stood behind her. She looked at him in the mirror, found him looking at her directly through the mirror. He did his face in her wet hairs and inhaled deeply in her hairs. Taeyang, so tempting, my sweetheart. Wyan's breath got heavy when he wrapped his one arm around her waist and pulled her closer. He removed her hairs from her shoulder and placed it to other shoulder. He untied the over rope and pulled down from her shoulder. She gasped when his warm lips touched the skin of her neck. Her head fell back side by its own and his lips hungrily devouring her neck. He kissed her ear and earlobe, then gave it a long lick which made her. He slowly whispered in her ear while brushing his jelly tongue on her ear. Taeyang, do you want me, sweetheart? Say you want me. I will take you, my little sweetheart. Wine, I want you. I want you, Appa. Make me yours, mark me as yours, claim me as yours. The young maker turned around and blink of an eye, he captured her lips in a hungry kiss. She wrapped her arms around his neck, pulling him closer. He threw her on the bed and pulled the shirt over his head and threw it on the floor. He held the remote and turned the lights into neon, making the environment more hot and romantic. He slowly crawls on top of her while she is just looking at him without blinking eyes. Time skip. He laid down beside her while both of them catching their breath. After some time later, Taeyang again went top of her while covered them with the sheet. He took her inside his nipple and started to hit her legs and inside of her, she and hug his neck. Time skip at Maldives. They came to Maldives for their honeymoon. Everyone says Maldives is the best place for honeymoon, and it's true. It's been 2 days they came here. The young sitting in the chair while Wine swimming inside the pool. Wine, Taeyang, come here. Taeyang, coming. He slowly stepped inside the pool. Wine smiled while coming near him and wrapped her arms around his neck. Taeyang pecked her lips, then placed a long kiss on her lips. They are enjoying with each other, leaving the world behind. 1 year later, Taeyang came inside the house and sat down on the sofa. Wine handed him the glass. He gulped down the water and handed her back the empty glass. He took off his coat and handed her the coat. Wine, I'm serving the dinner. Come downstairs after freshening up. Wine caressed his head and went inside. They are having dinner and Wine serving everything in his plate, whatever he needs. Wine, Taeyang, yes. Wine, I'm thinking about doing a job. Taeyang looked at her. Taeyang, why so sudden? Wine, nothing, just my hobby. Taeyang, sweetheart, tell me one thing. I earn for whom? Wine, for us. Taeyang, right. And I don't want you to job outside, cause my earning is enough for us. Taeyang, it's not easy to job, honey. I every day came home being totally tired, and you take care of like my good little wife. If you will do job outside, who will manage this house and me? You are my queen, and I want you to live like a queen every day. I come back home tiredly, but after seeing your beautiful smiley face, my tiredness just fly away. There is no need to job. I'm your husband. It's my job to earn for us. Wine's eyes got teary. She happily smiled and nodded her head. 2 years later, Wine sleeping peacefully after giving birth to a beautiful baby girl. The young mother holding the baby in her arms. The young mother. Taeyang, now you are father. I can't believe. Taeyang, dad, don't tease him, honey. Wine mother and dad also smiled. Wine slowly opened her eyes and found Taeyang sitting beside her while looking at the baby in his mother's arms. Wine. Taeyang looked at her and smiled and helped her to sit up. His mom walked near the bed and passed the baby in Wine's arm. Wine kissed her forehead and holding her in her chest. Wine looked at Taeyang with her happy teary eyes. Taeyang kissed her head and looked down at the baby. Taeyang, she is beautiful. Wine nodded her head while smiling joy. My niece is just beautiful as me. Everyone started laughing hearing him. 2 years later, Taeyang sleeping peacefully while Aiza sitting on him and drawing something on her father's face with marker pen. It's a weekend, so usually Taeyang sleep more than the other days. He wake up feeling little hands on his face. Aiza hide the marker pen inside the blanket when she saw him opening his eyes. The young opened his eyes and found Isa sitting on him and playing with his hairs. The young, what is my princess doing? Isa, Appa, good morning. The young, good morning. The young, where is Mama? Isa, I don't know. The young chuckled, seeing her pouty lips. He stood up with her in his arms and went outside of the room. They came downstairs and found Wine helping the maids with the dusting furniture. Wine looked at them and found Taeyang with Isa holding in his arms. Wine, oh, you both are up. Wait, what happened to your face, Taeyang? Actually, Isa also sleeping with Taeyang. Last night, Isa fell asleep with the marker pen in her hand. Wine, oh God, Taeyang, your face is looking so funny. Taeyang, what do you mean? Wine, see yourself in the mirror. Maids are controlling their love. Taeyang looked in the mirror and found his face full of art and actually looking so funny. Taeyang, who did this? Wine, I swear I didn't. Isa innocently looking at her parents. Wine's eyes fell on Isa's hand and found marker stain. Wine, I know who did this. Taeyang, who? Wine eyeing him to see Isa's hand, and he did, while Isa just looking at her artwork on her father's face innocently. He looked at her and found her already looking at him with her baby eyes. Taeyang, my princess, you did this to Appa. Isa nodded her head as yes cutely, which made all of them smile at her cuteness. Wyan took her in his arms and kissed her whole face. Wyan, my baby, you did a great work. Taeyang also smiled and pats her head. Isa, I want milk, Mama. I'm hungry. Wyan, my baby is hungry. Mama will make Isa delicious milk. Taeyang, come downstairs after freshening up. I'm serving the breakfast. Taeyang, fine. The end.